welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you decided to take time out of your day to spend with me because today we will be discussing my summer TBR. So with my summer TBR, it's very ambitious and it's mainly just a list of books that I would like to get to, but I already know I'm not going to be able to get to all of them, and I'm okay with that, but I just wanted to share this list with y'all. Okay, so we have Fit for the Gods, and this is an anthology that's edited by Jenn Northington and S. Zainab Williams, and this is a Greek mythology reimagining anthology, and it says, from the enchanted and eternally popular world of Greek myth, an anthology of gender-bent, queered, race-bent, and inclusive retellings. It includes stories from Marika Bailey, Alyssa Cole, Zarada Cordova, Sarah Gailey, Suzanne Purr, Juliana Spink Mills, Valerie Valdez, and a lot more. And I'm really excited to get into this because I've always been a fan of Greek mythology, Greek myth retellings, but for this to be specifically reimagined in different ways as far as race, gender, and just made more inclusive, I'm a fan of that and I can get behind that. So I really want to get into this summer. Like many of us, I am obsessed with Bridgerton, and I haven't watched the third season yet because I'm waiting until part 2 comes out so I can just binge the whole thing at one time. But in the meantime, I do want to get my Regency romance fix, and that is with Unladylike Lessons in Love by Amita Murray. This is about the daughter of an English earl and his Indian mistress. She's been shipped off to England where she's not accepted really by any of the ton. So she takes a job as a hostess at an exclusive gaming club, and once she's there, some guy like barges in and claims that she is his father's mistress, and she's like, what? No. So I'm interested to get into this to get my Regency / historical romance fix. Next up, we have Lease on Love by Falon Ballard. And this is about Sadie, who, after being passed up for a promotion, is just really upset and having a hard time at life. And she stumbles upon Jack, who is grieving his recently deceased parents. And he is renting out a spare room for really cheap. And so Sadie, of course, takes that room, and this is the story of them. And this is an opposites attract romance. So I'm excited to get into this. I mean, this cover is like really giving the summer vibes, so I'm hoping this will be a really good romance to read this summer. And then we have Anna Maria and the Fox, and this is by Liana de la Rosa, and if I'm not mistaken, this is also a Regency romance, but I'm not quite sure. And it's about Anna Maria, who has strived to be the perfect daughter, and she is secretly sent to London to seek refuge from the French occupation of Mexico. And this is Anna Maria's first taste at freedom and getting from underneath her family's watchful eye. And she meets Gideon Fox. And Gideon is a member of parliament who is working to get votes to abolish the Atlantic slave trade. And these two strike up some kind of romance, but I think something that he's working on politically or something gets in the way of their relationship. So I think this will be really cool and really interesting to read. And then I have a couple of Christina Laurens because I just feel like Christina Lauren and Summer go together, and I'm trying to catch up because I know the Paradise Problem just came out, but I have these books already on my physical TBR, so I wanted to get through those before I got to the Paradise Problem. So we have the Unhoneymooners, and this book has been on my TBR for an embarrassing amount of time, probably some years at this point, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And I feel like I can only read this book in the summertime, and every summer it gets passed up for other books. But I'm making it a point this summer to read this book, and it's about two sworn enemies on a Hawaiian trip. I think they're faking like they're in a relationship and end up actually being in a relationship. I don't feel like I need to explain the Unhoneymooners. I feel like we've all heard of it at this point. So And then we have The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. And this follows one of my favorite characters from the Soulmate Equation, Fizzy. So I was really excited that she got her own book because I just loved her when I read The Soulmate Equation. This is actually about Fizzy. She's a romance novelist and she gets her own like reality dating show, kind of like The Bachelor or something like that. And I think she ends up falling in love with one of the producers of the show instead of one of the men who is a contestant. I'm not sure, but I think that's what this is. And I'm really excited to get into her book. I thought she was really funny. And I know this is going to be really fun and probably a little steamy knowing Fizzy. And then we have Throne of the Fallen by Kerri Maniscalco. I'm super excited to get into this. This edition is gorgeous. So in this book, we return to the world of the Kingdom of the Wicked, and we're back with the Princes of Hell. And this one is actually following Prince Envy, and I think he's playing some kind of game, or some game is involved, and he needs help. And he goes and finds Camilla, who is an artist of some type, and they team up to get through this game or whatever. I don't know much, but that is on purpose. I really want to just go into this with an open mind and kind of be surprised by what happens. So, yeah, this is another book that has been on my TBR for an embarrassing amount of time, and that is Girl, Serpent, Thorn by Melissa Bashardoust. Bashardoust? Anyway, I think this is a bit of a YA fantasy about a princess who, I think if she touches you, you die, or she has like a deadly touch or something like that. So, again, I don't like knowing much about books going in because I want to just kind of experience her story. I think this is actually queer, but I'm not sure. I just, yeah, it's been on my TBR for a really long time and I'm ready to read it. So, next I have a sci fi book, and that is The First Sister, and it's by Linden A. Lewis. And this is a trilogy that has been compared to The Handmaid's Tale, and I have only attempted to watch The Handmaid's Tale show, and I didn't really vibe with it. But this sounds really interesting. First Sister has no name and no voice. She travels the stars alongside the soldiers of Earth and Mars, the same ones who own the rights to her body and soul. Her former captain abandons her, and her hopes for freedom are dashed as she is forced to stay on her ship with no friends, no power, and a new captain that she knows nothing about. And she is commanded to spy on another captain. So she is commanded to spy on this new captain, and I'm guessing falls in love with this new captain. So yeah, I'm really interested to go into this one. I don't know a lot about it, but I think it's going to be a really interesting read. And yeah, I'm ready to find out. And then we have what I think is a YA sci-fi book, and that is The Diabolic, and it's by S.J. Kincaid. So diabolics are created to protect slash kill for what a certain person, and Nemesis, our main character, is a diabolic for the heir to the Galactic Senate, and one of the rival slash enemy emperors summons her person to basically be a hostage. So of course, Nemesis goes in her place and it just kind of unravels from there. So really excited about this story. I think it's going to be really cool to see someone pretending to be someone else. So I'm interested to see if they find out that Nemesis is not the person that she is pretending to be and what kind of unfolds from there. So next we have some lit fic in the mix, and that is Georgie All Along by Kate Clayborn. And this has also been on my TBR for a while. I think it came out like at the beginning of last year and I haven't gotten around to it yet. But this is about Georgie, who is a personal assistant or something like that, and she doesn't really live her life for herself at all. She's always concerned about what other people want and what they need. And something happens and she has to leave her job and I think maybe go back to her hometown or something like that. And she ends up with an unlikely roommate. And she's kind of forced to think about and realize like what she actually wants for herself, and is this the life that she wants to live, or she wants to change that up and finally start taking care of herself. So yeah. And we have Wildblood by Lauren Blackwood. And I think this is YA, but it's about Victoria, who is a Wildblood. She was kidnapped at the age of 6, and she has been forced to use her magic to guide and protect travelers in a Jamaican jungle teeming with ghostly monsters. Her magic is the most powerful of anyone on the team. But the jungle is treacherous, and while facing hypnotist river spirits, soul devouring women who shed their skin like snakes, an ex out for revenge, and a young man she is falling in love with, Victoria must find the strength to defeat the demons of this dangerous land and discover where she truly belongs. So I think this is going to be a really fun, interesting read. Like, I love the color, I love the cover. I think it just screams summer, and I think it'll be a fun time. Next, we have another sci-fi, and that is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I know that this has made its rounds a while ago, but I am just now getting around to picking it up. And it's about Rosemary, and she joins the crew of this ship known as the Wayfarer, and it's kind of like this, rundown ship has seen its better days. Okay, and then the crew is offered the job of a lifetime, tunneling wormholes through space to a different planet. And of course, even though this would set Rosemary up for life, as far as money wise, she is afraid because, of course, she's risking her life to do this. And there's some found family aspects in this book as well. And I think it'll just be really fun to go on this journey with them. I have a couple of newer releases that I want to get to this summer, and one of those happens to be A Little Kissing Between Friends by Chencia Higgins. And I am super, super, super excited about this book because I read Devon and Chris Plan a Wedding last year, and it was my favorite book of 2023. So I'm really excited to see what Miss Chencia is going to do next. So this is about a music producer named Sin, who's, living up the life of a celebrity, going out, doing whatever she wants to do. Yeah. So she has a run-in with her friend who happens to be a dancer, that kind of dancer, and it kind of makes her look at her best friend different, like, wait a minute, okay. And so, but it turns out that Sin is basically in love with his best friend anyway, and that is her muse and who she imagines dancing to her music when she's making it in the studio. And I think this is gonna eat, and it's something really different that I haven't read before. And yeah, and I just love that they are queer, plus size women on the cover, and I'm here for it. I think this is going to be really fun, and I'm going to eat this up. And then we have Blood on the Root by Ladarrion Williams, and this is actually one of my most anticipated of the year. I was really super, super excited when I heard about this book coming out. I'll just read some of the synopsis of this because I don't think I'm going to do it justice otherwise. 10 years ago, Malik's life changed forever the night his mother mysteriously vanished and he discovered he had uncontrollable powers. Since then, he's kept his abilities hidden, looking out for himself and his younger foster brother, Tay. Now at 17, Malik is finally ready to start a new life for the both of them, far from the trauma of his past. However, a daring act to rescue Tay reveals an unexpected connection with his long-lost grandmother, a legendary conjurer with ties to a hidden magical universe that Malik's mother attended. Cayman University, Malik's eyes are open to a future he could never have envisioned for himself, one that includes the reappearance of his first love, Alexis, his search for answers about his heritage, his powers, and what really happened to his mother exposes the cracks in the magical community as it faces a reawakened evil dating back to the Haitian Revolution. Together with Alexis, Malik discovers a lot beneath the surface at Cayman, feuding covens and magical politics, forbidden knowledge, and buried mysteries. In a wholly unique saga of family, history, and community, Malik must embrace his legacy to save what's left of his old family as well as his new one, exploring the roots and secrets that connect us in an unforgettable contemporary setting. This heart-pounding fantasy series opener is a rich tapestry of atmosphere, intrigue, and emotion. I had no idea that this was going to be a series, so that makes me even more excited. And this, I saw Ladarrion on TikTok, and he was saying this is basically like Black witches at an HBCU. And I'm really excited that this is following a male main character because I don't think we get that more often enough. And it's Black fantasy, witchy. I'm here for all of these vibes. Next, we have This Vicious Grace by Emily Thiede. I don't really know how to pronounce her last name, sorry. But this has also been on my TBR for an embarrassing amount of time, but I feel like this is only something that could be read in the summer. I have no idea, but I mean, this cover just screams summer to me. So this is about our main character whose magic is supposed to magnify her partner's magic, but it seems that her touch kills. And so she ends up hiring this guy, I think named Dante, to be her bodyguard to kind of help her, work through this. But it seems that Dante has some secrets, and some of these secrets might help our main character figure out what's going on and why she's killing instead of magnifying. And then I plan on continuing the Emily Wilde series with book 2, which is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. And I enjoyed that first book so much. I feel like this cover though is giving me spring, even though the first one's a very wintry setting. I'm not really sure what vibes to expect with this. So I think this kind of picks up where the first one leaves off. She's completed the Encyclopedia of Fairies, and her relationship with Bumblebee is continuing to blossom. So now Emily is working on this new project, which is a map of the realms of fairy. And of course, Bumblebee lands Emily into some drama, and so I'm just excited to kind of get back into this world.